from blue to red. But they show negative taste with sodium bicarbonate due to the absence of carbon dioxide. And the acidic character of phenol is due to the fact that you see here the resonance structure of phenol. If I see the resonance structure of phenol, you see phenol means OH group is present here. Now if I release this H plus, dissociate H plus and O minus, this O minus, that is the minus negative charge, is in resonating structure with this double bond, with the phenol or the benzene ring. Now you see it may be rotated, or in this way the 4 resonating structure are possible. We know always resonating structure always more stable than the phenol group. So due to this more stable structure, the phenol always try to remain in O minus form and releasing H plus. So due to this free H plus ion, phenol show some acidic character. That's why the litmus paper change its color, but it is not carboxylic or any other acid. It is not carboxylic acid. So don't confuse with this test. So yeah, then you have to do the NaHCO3, that is the sodium bicarbonate test, which is specific for carboxylic acid. Carboxylic showing bicarbonate test due to the presence of carbon dioxide. Since there is no carbon dioxide or COO group in phenol, they show the negative test. So bicarbonate test, we can differentiate between the acid and phenol group. First one. Second is phenol have the aromatic compound, but it is soluble in water. Generally, aromatic compound showing the sooty flame. If you do the flame test, it shows the sooty flame. That means the compound is aromatic. And generally, other aromatic compounds are insoluble in water, but phenol are soluble in water due to the presence of OH group. So it is aromatic but soluble in water and showing sooty flame, and it changes litmus paper color, but it's so negative test for sodium bicarbonate test. So from here we can, by this test, you can get an idea that your compound may be phenol. Now phenol, in your syllabus there are total 3 phenols: resorcinol, yes. In your syllabus, you have total 3 phenols. First one is resorcinol, which scientific name is 1,3-dihydroxybenzene. And one thing more, the resorcinol or these phenols are colored compound and they are in solid state. So they are not liquid and they have a specific color. If I So by observing the specific color, you can get either it is resorcinol, catechol, or pyrogagol. But and the second test is FeCl3 test, where we take the aqueous solution of this compound, of this phenol, any phenol, and add 2-3 drops of neutral FeCl3 solution. Then it shows some blue, violet, or green color depending on the phenol. So in this case of resorcinol, it will show the violet color, like so the beside figure you show in the test tube. This is the somehow blue or violet color. So this type of color will be seen after adding the neutral FeCl3 solution. And how you prepare the neutral FeCl3? For you take the solution of FeCl3 in a test tube and add NaOH till a small amount of brown precipitate is observed. Then add 2-3 drops of FeCl3 solution to dissolve the precipitate. So by adding NaOH, since phenols are somehow acidic in nature, so but to prepare neutral solution, you have to add any basic solution, that is NaOH. If you add NaOH, then acid and base, it will form a neutral solution. Then this neutral solution you add FeCl3 solution. For resorcinol, it shows the violet color. And another test is very specific for resorcinol, which is called the fluorescence test. If you take the compound and 2 drops of CaCl3 and 1 ml of NaOH, warm the mixture, a red-green fluorescence is appeared. Now, if you add sufficient water, you will get water or hydrochloric acid. You see this color becomes like this in the figure. First, you will get the mixture like this, somehow red and greenish. And if you add excess water, it will show green color. So this color is called fluorescence. And the reaction is due to this type of compound formation will occur. That's why this fluorescence is seen. So this test is very specific only for research-journal. Now moving to the second compound, that is the pyrogagol. Pyrogagol, you have 3 oxide group, that is the hydroxyl group, OH group, 1, 2, 3 trihydroxybenzene, and similarly it is also specific in nature, and but after adding FeCl3 solution, it becomes yellow in color. You see in the test tube. This is for just a minute. Just wait for the 1 minute. Note they have mentioned tolerance test, but this phenol does not showing such, good tolerance test. That's why I avoid this test. Only FeCl3 test is enough for 3 phenols. And in this case, it shows yellow color. In the previous one, it was blue or violet color. But in this case, after adding FeCl3 solution, it shows yellow color. Now the third is your catechol. Catechol have also 2 hydroxy group. That was first one was the 1,3 and this is 1,2. That is the 2 side by side OH group. So 1,2 dihydroxybenzene. In this case also, if you add FeCl3 solution, the solution color becomes green. So from this color change after adding FeCl3, we can easily differentiate between 3 phenol group. So this is very easy and most important. They are the colored solid. So from that solid, direct observing the compound color, you can get idea. And plus after FeCl3, the color change also. First one is violet, second one is yellow, and third one is green. So from this FeCl3 test, we can easily identify our phenol group. Now moving to the second type of compound, which is carbohydrates. In carbohydrate, you have glucose, sucrose, and starch in your syllabus. And you see, so for flame test, if you do the flame test for carbohydrate, it will form the char like this. That is the some black color mass if you burn the carbohydrate. Now for functional group test, and they are soluble in water. Somehow this glucose or fructose is somehow white color powder type solid form. Physical state is white color powder, and they are soluble in water, and they're showing the char when you do the flame test. And in functional group test, when you add sulfuric acid and when you add sulfuric acid to the this is any carbohydrate, it shows the black color residue in your test tube. And this is due to the reason that when you add H2SO4, it oxidizes and it forms. This is the simplest of glucose C12H22O11, and they oxidize in the air in presence of H2SO4 and form carbon plus oxygen, carbon dioxide plus sulfur dioxide, water, and this carbon. So due to this residue carbon, the solution mixture or the residue become black in color. So this shows your compound may be carbohydrate in nature. Second group, functional group test is specific, very specific for carbohydrate, which is called Mollis test. And And what is Mollis reagent? Mollis reagent is alpha naphthol dissolved in ethanol, and also we add concentrated H2SO4. But if you ask what is Mollis reagent, you said the alpha naphthol dissolved in ethanol, that is C2H5OH. This reagent is called Mollis reagent. And when you add glucose Mollis reagent to glucose solution in, and also 2-3 drops of concentrated H2SO4, it forms, you see, it forms dye color due to this reaction. First I am showing you the condition. Yes, so you see this Mollis test is very sensitive for carbohydrate, and almost all carbohydrates showing this test. And when it undergo dehydration by sulfuric acid to form furfural, that is furfural aldehyde, which react with alpha naphthol to form the reddish or violet or purple color product. And you, purple color product means ring between the two junction of the two liquids. You see in the left hand side in the test tube, you see this type of violet color ring at the junction of the two liquids, which is called ring test. The reaction is like this. This is the chair structure of glucose, and when you add this concentrated H2SO4, first it reacts with H2SO4 and form 5-hydroxy-methyl furfural. Then with the Mollis reagent, that is the alpha naphthol, it reacts and form a complex compound like this, which is purple in color. So due to this formation complex compound, it form a ring in the junction of the two liquid. So this is another functional group test for carbohydrate. Now coming to the confirmatory test one by one. In case of glucose, since glucose, the structure of glucose is CHO, CHOH whole 4 and CH2OH. That means aldehyde group is present here. So for due to the aldehyde group, we will do Fehling solution test and tolerance test for aldehyde group. There is also another test, that is the epimerization test, where we add to the compound, we add NaOH and boil it. Then you see brown color, the solution turns brown and a smell of caramel is produced due to the reaction. Yes. You see, we can represent the glucose structure in 3 ways. This is the Fischer projection, where CHO, CHOH whole 4, that is the fourth this CHOH group, and the CH2OH. We can also represent this glucose structure in the chair form, like this one, first one, and Haworth projection, like this type. So if I write this or this one, they are all same, the glucose structure. So epimerization reaction, in epimerization reaction, when we add NaOH, it forms this glucose form D-fructose, which structure is CH2OH, C double bond O, that is aldehyde form ketone group, and it is called fructose. Again, this fructose may react with NaOH and form this D-mannose. They are all carbohydrate. So due to the mixture 3 carbohydrate, that is, it is the mixture of glucose, fructose, and mannose. So this 3, due to the presence of this 3 carbohydrate, there is a specific smell of caramel, which you smell during this experiment, and also the color becomes brown in color. So that's why this is also showing the presence of glucose. And the second one is the Fehling solution test. In Fehling solution test, you will see what is Fehling solution. Fehling solution composed of Fehling A and Fehling B, and Fehling A is generally your copper sulfate. You see here, yes. In your Viva, they may be asked what is Fehling solution. So you have to answer. Fehling solution is Fehling A, and when you take equal amount or equal volume of Fehling A and B and mix them, this form the Fehling solution. Where Fehling A is copper sulfate, which is blue in color, and Fehling B is potassium sodium tartarate, that is the salt of tartaric acid, and in NaOH. In NaOH, and which is colorless. And this salt, that is the potassium sodium tartrate, is also called Rochelle salt. And when you add these two filling A and B, they will form CuOH, that is copper hydroxide, and which act as oxidizing agent. Now this oxidizing agent react with this glucose, which has CHO group, that is aldehyde. This aldehyde group is oxidized and form the acidic group COONA, that is your sodium salt of acid, that is glucose, and it is gluconic acid. Since this is COONA, so it is called sodium gluconate. And also from Cu2O, the cuprous oxide, and due to this cuprous oxide, the solution becomes red in color, and due to this color change, we can say that glucose showing the positive filling taste. And the color you see first when you take the filling A and B, this will be like this blue in color due to the copper hydroxide. And when you add glucose, you see in the second test tube, the solution color becomes brown from this blue, and due to the formation of cuprous oxide. And the glucose becomes, the aldehyde becomes acid, gluconic acid. That's why it shows the brown color. From this color change, you can say, yes, our compound is glucose. Second test is also for aldehyde group, and which is called Tollens test. And again, the question may arise, what is Tollens reagent? Tollens reagent is when you basically AgNH3 whole 2 OH, but it is formed like this, AgNH3 plus NH4OH. When it dissolve AgNH3 in NH4OH, it forms AgOH first, then it changes to Ag2O, and again dissolve in or solubilize in NH4OH, and finally it forms AgNH3 whole 2 OH. This compound is called Tollens reagent, and it is also act as an oxidizing agent like CuOH whole 2 in the filling solution test. Now this oxidizing agent again changes this acid aldehyde into acid. CHOCH whole 4 CH2OH, that is your glucose becomes gluconic acid. And in the test tube, you will see a silver color coating due to the formation of solid silver in this reaction. And when you observe the silver test, and you know glucose showing the best silver mirror test. That is the Tollens test or silver mirror test. And you see this type of silver coating in your test tube. In the left hand side in the test tube, this type of solid silver becomes visible in your test tube. So this again confirm the presence of glucose. Now there is, yes, your second carbohydrate compound is sucrose, whose structure is like this. Sucrose is formed from glucose and fructose. You see, this is the sucrose structure, which is composed of two rings. One is 6 member and another is 5 member. The 6 member ring is glucose. And fructose, it forms sucrose. Now you see for sucrose, since it called non-reducing agent, since its OH is not freely available, that's why first if you do sucrose filling test and Tollens test, it will show negative result, that is no color change or silver mirror test. But if you add H2SO4, dilute H2SO4 with sucrose and boil for 5 to 10 minutes, then again add Na2CO3. Then after that, if you do fillings test as well as Tollens test, they will show positive result. And why this is so? Because in the first, when the sucrose in its original form, they are not reacting with fillings as well as Tollens reagent. But when you add H2SO4 and boil for 5 minutes, that means this H2SO4 hydrolyze this ring. That means they break this O group ring and O bond and form glucose and fructose. Now your glucose is in free form, which show the filling test and Tollens test. So for sucrose test, first you have to break this sucrose into glucose and fructose, and we know glucose showing this two test positive. So from here we can say that our compound is sucrose. Now in case of yes. So then if you for starch, that is your last carbohydrate compound, you know starch structure is like this. It is the polymer of glucose. It can be formed like this: C6H12O6. If this is the basic structure glucose, then you take n times, that is the polymerization happen, and it form C6H10O5. That is one water molecule is dissociate and it form whole n, that means polymer. So polymer of this compound is called starch. Basically the starch showing fillings and tolerance test positive, and you can differentiate this compound from the glucose into by this iodine test. You know, in your inorganic titration, I have already mentioned that when we do the iodine test, we add starch as an indicator in our titration, and their starch iodine complex form blue color solution or blue color complex. So similar test we will do here. We have a starch and we will add iodine solution, and they form starch iodine solution which is blue black in color, that is the dark blue in color. Now if you heat this compound or heat this mixture, it will disappear. That means blue color disappear due to the dissociation of starch and iodine. Now again, if you cool, it will reappear. That means this starch iodine complex is unstable, not very permanent compound or stable compound. It is very unstable. If you heat it, it disappear, and if you cool it, and it reappear due to the again formation of starch iodine complex. So this is the conformative test for starch. And again, since starch is polymer in nature, its solubility in water is very less in comparison to glucose and sucrose. So from solubility and iodine test, you can differentiate this starch from glucose. So this is all about your carbohydrate. In your next class, I will show amides, and you have, I think, 4 compound left. So I will complete in next Monday. Coming Monday means.